Good morning, grasshoppers. Informant 150 has arrived. The Midwinter Dream. Along with the Informant 150, this is a great time to start your collection of informants. Wait a minute now. I didn't even try to take up the 150 challenge. What happened to my chess informant? Where are you? My commands are missing. Let's make sure that we are connected. Checking custom commands. 1 second. I'll be right back. Default timer. That was Informant 148. That's so funny. Let's fix that real quick before we continue on our merry way. We're going to be rampaging. The other really amazing book, one that I've been looking forward to for quite some time, is the second volume of Chess Informant Miniatures. These are all of the games by the top players, under 20 moves. And for example, the first game is a win by Peter Heine-Nielsen, Gowan Jones, Magnus Carlsen. These are the first 4 wins. And Lazaro Bruzon Bautista. Wang Yu beats Li Chao in the 4th one. And Hikaru Nakamura takes down talk about short-term memory loss. Boris Gelfand in less than 20 moves in the 6th one. Or 20 moves or less, let's put it that way. Takes him down in 20 moves. Where are my commands? Where's my super suit? Yeah, let's keep both of those. Let's try the 150. Oops, if I spell it right. And more editing needs to be done. That's so funny. The Colors of Autumn is out. They also have the 2nd edition of the Anthology of Chess Problems. The informative chess combinations are sold out. They are now collector's items. The 6th edition of the Encyclopedia of Chess Combinations is now officially sold out at Chess Informant. Did I have an ECC command? No. Good. there is. Copy this link address. We're going straight there. Just in case you needed the informant address for 150. Informant 150 has arrived. Encyclopedia Chess Openings, Miniatures, Volume 2 has arrived. Actually, they've improved the font for readability on every game, which I didn't think they could do. It's a little bit, it's going to take a little adjusting to for me. We're also going to put in a plug for one of my favorite instructional informant collections, Old Wine in New Bottles. Check out their best sellers. Let's do that. That should do it. I'm going to just create separate links for each one of those. Pardon me. There's my Moobot. There we go. Uh-oh. The command is not defined. It's not defined. That's fascinating. Let's try that one more time. 150. Is it because there's another command with the same information? Let's try that. Got it. Let's try this. All right, that's better. Good morning, Chess Champ. Good morning, Lauren. Oh no. All right, I'll check it out. I'm joining. As usual, getting a little bit of a late start. With a few new complimentary items. While I'm at it, checking out the latest improvements against 1B3. Fashionably late indeed. Felme. Alright, we're going with the traditional until I finish Chess Informant Miniatures, where I can play everything. Absolutely everything. Absolutely everything, Moneypenny. Felme. Oh, we're going this way. The main line. I want to know what he has. I really do. Bishop f4 is next. This is common. I should have played Queen D7 since Knight E5 was not an option. Okay. Fine. Dive right in. Dive, 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 dive. What? I don't believe you can do that. I do understand the sentiment, though. Feel free to lock down on my queen side at any time. So, knight to c4. We'll get you to e5. I will invite you in. I will invite you in, booby. Just tagging along. Very creative. It's amazing how often you can get positions that are so brand new. So brand new. Away, Dixieland. Oh, I wish I was in Dixie. No, I wasn't. I absolutely do not wish that I was in Dixie at any given moment. Not at all. Not a chance that I wish I were in Dixie. So we're only up one pawn? What's up with that? Can I visit? I won't stay long. I promise. Who has to say for king now? The good news is that I want you to look upon this, Lauren, as a training rating. A training rating. That's all it is. It's merely a gauge of our strength in a given direction on a given day. Not a big deal. What was that game? I gained only 3 rating points. Not a big deal. Was I that bad before? Yes, I think I was. I didn't check the Caro-Cons just yet. Usually when I get a new volume of any particular book, I go straight to it. Now, all of these games are from 2014 to 2021. They're all brand new miniatures. Absolute collection of brand new miniatures. Relatively extensively analyzed. In fact, sometimes the notes are far longer than the game itself. There was one game that filled the entire page, went on to the next page, and it was only 20 moves. For example, Artemiev in Moscow 2016 is black against another 2609 Wen Yang. Grand Prix attack, Artemiev goes down. I did not look at it, of course. Would have been a good time to look at it. But let's just, knowing what the opening was, let's just borrow it. Let's see how we do. Oh, the E6 line. Fascinating. This does not work, by the way. I don't think this works. At all. We are isolating that pawn on D5. I'm very happy to say. Oops, we have this problem. Houston, they have a problem. All right, let's just keep exchanging. Now, how do we get out of dodge? It's not going to be pretty, I have to admit. This is not going to be pretty, baby. At all. My opponent has massive compensation for this mess. Massive. All part of the plan so far. Sometimes you just got to do what you just got to do. I was never really planning on capturing on F3 with the queen. I need the space for my king to get out. Not sure exactly how I'm going to extract myself from this. At all. I have some severe detrimental problems. What? That was not at all what I was expecting. Oh. Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. All right, let's not play an opening just because we feel like it. I got absolutely destroyed too, Lauren. Let me look at that opening again. I didn't actually look at it. That's the problem. Had I studied it? What did he do in B23? Let's not play an opening, but I can play any opening. I just needed to play it better than that. I couldn't get greedy. I had to actually play chess. Gowan Jones likes to play knight F3 and G3 against the E6. And the B23. Many of these B23s. I did not look closely enough, but it was also the Tiviakov Grand Prix with Bishop to the Tiviakov Rosalimo / etc. Grand Prix. We're going to look at that game immediately after the stream. We're going to create an encyclopedia. There are 1,200 exercises in this book. 1200. Sorry, pardon me while I step out. How's everyone else doing? I think I'm going to try to post a review of Chess Informant periodically, just because it's so good. The articles in this one, they cover the 2021 U.S. Championship. Sabina Fazar compliments and discusses, ooh, this is starting to look like it's going to leave a mark. That might leave a mark. How come the bishop didn't take the queen? Oops. It would help if the bishop took the queen. And that will very close to end matters. But had the bishop taken the queen on g3, that would have taxed his playing ability a wee bit more. Just a wee bit. Stefano and Lauren. Not a tight game. What is going on? Nico Demonius. But yeah, my rating's taking a heavy hit here. 2184. C'est la vie. Rue. We're going with e4. Let me think about this. Kramnik's 4-night Scotch. Ideas? Up for the challenge. Space advantage. Space advantage. Piece advantage. All contributions and donations accepted. Que basta. Are you really going to capture? Do I really think you're going to capture? All right, I do want to trade. I have to keep my king one move away from castling at all times. Totally unexpected. Penovich, Exchangeovich. Divinginovich. Interesting. I'm not checkmating his queen as well as I want to. But I want to keep all of my rooks active. Just in case. Just a good old-fashioned mating net. Just a good old-fashioned mating net. Is the London super popular in this time control? I was just answering a question on that with Monkey Boy, I think, in the Discord. Not necessarily just the London, but against certain particular openings, like the Coley. There are 3 games that spring to mind. I think it's Gerasimov Smyslov from the 1950 Best Games 1957 book. I'm trying to recall if that was a Tory Attack or if that was a Coley. Tory Attack, Coley, and London all are very much the same to me. Just take a quick peek at the first game of My Best Games 1935 to 1957. A lot of biographical information. It is Coley Zukertort. Gerasimov plays a Coley Zukertort against Smyslov in 1935 at the House of Pioneers. Game 1, Smyslov wins in 22 moves. Then there's another game. So I have to choose how I'm going to go about this, yeah? Do I have time to do this? I do not think so. But we will make the time. You have to make the time for your friends. We'll treat it like a reverse Teresh. Can I continue to treat it like a reverse Teresh? Do I lose time or do I gain time? Thank you, Pegasus. Heaps of times indeed. Namaste, Pegasus. That is easily the best value sound bite of all of them. Let's make sure that knight can't go anywhere unexpected. Let's try to make our pawn break in the center. They are going to totally take advantage of his king being in the center if he is not careful. So he should just give it up now. Oh my God. All right. Thank you very much. Wow, he opened up the C file. I thought he was going to put up a fight opening up the C file. I really did. I was positive that he was going to put up a fight opening up the C file. But he didn't. He did not put up a fight opening up the C file, which is very kind of him. And now for something completely irrelevant. Check, Sonora. He does want to get the queens off the board. Let's go this way. Is this someone to watch over me? That's weird. That's just weird. Someone to watch over me. So let's see. Now for the moment of truth. Where's the queen going? The queen does have a square. It's a wee bit of an annoyance the queen has a square. So can he recapture? Or can he not? I think that is a no. He cannot recapture. Small gains. Small gains. Wow, second place. No chance of catching the mighty Pegasus. Great job. No. Was it choppy for you? I wish I could refund you with that one. Hold on. You know what it is? I know what it is. Arg. I did not realize it. I have to go without the music. All the streamers, I apologize. I did learn something from this experience, though, Pegasus. I apologize. It was not choppy for me. It was super awesome for me. I'm going to have to check it out again later. But I believe that when the speaker is coming in on the microphone, this is why the streamers that play music use earbuds to listen to the sound stream while they're streaming. That way the speaker doesn't interfere with the microphone. I knew this. I forgot this. And I apologize profusely. It is so good. If I didn't say anything, actually, if I turned off the music, it should kill the music. That would even be better. Chess Player D, how are you? Let's see if Rue catches up playing Ron Hay. 16 seconds, though. Rue is white. Ron is putting up a fight. Outside pass pawn, piece coordination. Doesn't look good. Hold on. I still wanted to see this game. Last game going. Strength in numbers. Yeah, it's a very dangerous. He's trying for counterplay, but there's a simple solution. Because the G7 pawn is going to be covered by the queen. Ooh, A1 equals queen and G7 is covered by the queen, so there is nothing there. No, you don't need to allow the pawn to get captured. Knight takes A2, of course, is lost, but that is Gegenspiel. Knight takes A2, queen takes A2, H4. Yeah, A1 equals queen. Rook takes F7, king to G6. This queen covers. F7. Queen A8 check. To keep everybody honest. And now... Wait, who's who? Rue is black? Oh, Rue's not listening. Thank God. I'm glad Rue is not listening. On the run again. Just can't wait to get on the run again. D5. Forced. Knight D6. Barnacle. What can we do in this particular position? Yes, this wins the knight. So now we have a little bit of a fighting chance. As long as our king doesn't go to the third rank. Come on, Ron. Step out of it, Mon. Don't step to any dark squares. Don't allow queen A5 check. Don't allow queen A3 check. Just don't allow. Dive, 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 dive. Can we take? Ooh, this could be good. I don't know if it's good enough, but the rooks work together. Is there no rook D2? No, you can't allow this to happen. It's going to stair step his way to A3 and take. No, queen A3 check. Queen A3 check was a better endgame. You might be okay here. Ooh, maybe we're not okay here. No choice. Buenas noches. Yes. Buenas noches. Our rook should not be tied down to one another. That is the problem. And 2 times. G5 check. Can we draw this? Yes. With G5. G5, and then all you have to do is wait for the moment to place your... Can you play G5? No, you can't. Now we've got it. Now it's a basic draw because you just have to wait for the moment to put your king on E2, G2. Even if he were able to take this pawn on G4. Great comeback, Ron. Why H4 and not F4? Was that in this game, Ezrin? Good morning, Ezrin. I didn't like F4 because of the exposure to the king, because there was something going on here. Yeah, so Roux... White was winning. White needed to take that pawn, cover the E6 square. I'm sorry, Black needed to take that pawn and just cover the E6 square, and then he's winning the endgame. And he also had it here in this position, but it's just promoted. Let's make sure we do this. Unless we're talking about something else here, obviously, but we're just up too much material, and this is the X-ray that we had to consider. We have all of the famous options still in play. Coming in on the white squares, maybe even the discovery if you want it. Your opponent, Ron, wow. I know you're analyzing this as we speak, right? Knight C1, white offers a draw. Who's playing white? Ron. Go get some ivory soap. You need to wash that four-letter word out of... No begging for draws. That should be an emote. Right? That is definitely an emote. Hold on, I'm putting that in the emote ideas right now. Never draw. I like all three of those. Yeah. No, you had to take the pawn before you doubled your rooks on the 7th. But he believed you, Ron. Should we check out Lauren J.W. and Nico Demonius's... I found my Labordinate games, by the way. I hope I have enough Labordinate games for a 3-hour stream. But we can definitely cover the Labordinate and the match of 1835, the World Championship match of 1835, as it was often termed. The reason why I find that so amusing is because it was well known that Alexander MacDonald was a well-known amateur playing against the seasoned professional. De Labordinate. So, Rogan Joe Sloan is not here. Just for the record, Hero requested B3, which I don't believe I honored, if anybody remembers, 2 days ago. So I'm refunding him, just because it's too far ago to remember. I'm refunding him. What should we play regarding the center? You're either attacking the center, you're holding the center, or you're giving up the center. Make your plans accordingly. All right, no game against Nico. Lauren does mention that we can look at her game with, oh, your game with SDFS must have been the last one in the day. You were so young. I don't see a game against, you mean Stefano, maybe. Okay, so you're playing a London. I mean, you're not playing a London. You are playing a King's Indian. So against this, if your opponent plays this and you like the King's Indian structures, I actually like the immediate D6. It gives you the greatest of all winning chances among these King's Indian structures. You can see over here that black is winning a greater percentage than white. I would actually go for this. This is actually a great opening. It's almost the same as if they were playing bishop c4 against the French. Hold on. Where are we? I just need to do this. I'm going to put it in. We're immortalizing it here in the viewer study for a moment. So, for example, this structure, Lauren, right? Oh, that was Nico. I didn't want to talk about this though. I wanted to talk about your London phobia. No, but you played well. At least you drew this, right? Check out this bishop, right? Is this bishop really supposed to be here? We know what's coming. So now let's just take it from the other perspective on the London, right? If you like these King's Indian structures, there's no reason for you to play alone. You might as well hit this bishop hard and hit it well. And you can definitely do it. I actually like this. As you already learned, statistically, Lead Chess puts it way ahead among the masters. I'm wondering what the general population is. 47%. I'm very curious as to what's going to happen next. I have to go to the general population because let's say your opponent plays e3, and I would actually play knight on b to d7 at this point. Because you really are going to hit him right in the schnoz. Now, he cannot play knight f3. Knight f3 is relatively off the cards because you are going to kick, and you're getting an extended King's Indian. But Peter's Fiddler, Peter's Fiddler's Grunfeld, we should check out his recommendation against the London as well for you. Because I just purchased his part 2 course where he covers everything. Where he literally covers everything. So against knight f3, I might even just go with knight h5, bishop g5, h6, h6, g5. And you're getting your extended center, and you're getting development. And you're happy. Oh, so happy. Almost as happy, believe it or not, as happy can be. Knight on f to d2 is white's best move here. Honestly. Let's see what's going on in the assessment. So black is better. Black should not play knight on f to d2. Right? Let's go back to the masters for just a moment. Knight on f to d2. Black wins 40% of the time. Bishop g3, black wins 100% of the time. And this is Zevjagintsev as black. That's the strongest player. Peresponsa, Francisco Peresponsa. 2 grandmasters playing black in this 2017-2019. I believe we have our remedy.
You can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. Can't touch this. So hard.
I just wish they were longer. I wish I could switch them out for something that's longer, but I guess that's the only thing that they've got credit for. Again, namaste, Pegasus. Hopefully not choppy. Crossing my fingers that that was not choppy. Unless I spoke, then it became choppy. Or did it become choppy because it was on the microphone? Let me know. I will definitely get the headsets. My daughter would love it if I put the headphones in, but then I won't be able to hear them if they shout up. So that's a drawback. Bummer. All right. Hold on. I'm on the hunt now for eliminating this choppiness. The speakers. The microphone Yeti. I'm going to turn on the microphone Yeti for a moment. Why is the microphone Yeti not working? I'm going to turn off the Logitech webcam. I'm wondering if it's the microphone track. A little better than the shark song. Hold on, I'm turning off the sound for the mic. I'm muting the mic for a moment. Okay, let's try this track. It looks good on my end. I see the bar going, but it's not going through. Sound check. Yeah, it's back. Okay, so it was the track. So now the microphone Yeti needs to be on track 1. No, I killed the music. I killed the music because I thought the music was interfering with Pegasus. Now I just need to see what the alert box was on. The alert box and the sound alerts are on 3 and 5. The follower goal is also on 5 with the alert box. The cheer is on 5 with the alert box. Subscriber frame, follow frame, all of that is on alert 5. Office cam. Fascinating. I don't know if the office cam is really on. But I'm going to mute the office cam, which is in the background, just in case the office cam is actually doing anything. The office cam is the one back there. All right. I'm so happy to have my my Yeti microphone back. I was not using it for a while. I only have the... Now I wonder... But we'll wait for it. Wait for it. Yeatenheimer's Good Morning Chef. Hopefully the sound is better than the other microphone too. So what do you think of this line, Lauren? I think that I'm going to play this line. I like this line better than my usual routine. My usual routine, and we're going to check my usual routine as well. My usual routine is to hammer home against d4. And if they play e3, I actually don't mind transposing back into an exchange variation Caro-Kann, where their bishop is kind of lamely placed on f4 without having bishop d3 yet. Now, of course, it commits me to this particular one. And I did win one exchange variation again today. So let's just say if white goes with the most popular move. And after knight f6, white still cannot play. And we're back in action with bishop g4. Earlier today, our opponent played f3, bishop d3, and for whatever reason, I played queen to c8, which was terrible. Absolutely terrible. Because no knight can go to e5, it was a no-brainer to play. Sounds a little round from the mic. Well, they both have the same filters. I'm curious as to how they both work out. Let me switch microphones now. And I will do a test at, what is it? 57 minutes into the stream. Testing the microphone for general purposes, no other sounds. In a nice little vacuum here. It looks like I'm like a floating head in the darkness. I made an attempt at a Grand Prix attack. God, was that horrible. What a terrible opening against the Sicilian in general. It only works about 33% of the time, which is not good enough. So, now the microphones have been switched. I believe they both have the same filters. The microphone that I'm now using is the backup microphone that came from the webcam Logitech C920. And I kind of like this microphone because it's a good all-purpose microphone. Wow. I'm going to have to be the judge of that because I hate my voice, so therefore... It is interesting, right? Okay, so now it could be that I need to work on whatever it is that's going on with the Yeti microphone. Alexa, turn on Dojo. There we go. I'm going to switch this up just a little bit. I don't necessarily know where the gain is going. That's the drawback, because this thing is facing the wrong way. Turning the gain up versus turning the gain down. I have it in the middle. We'll see. That's crazy. The backup microphone. Hold on, I'm going back to the other one. And I'm going to check the other one because I need to do one more thing. I apologize. All right, so we'll stay on this microphone for after I do the further check. So this is the Blue Yeti microphone. And I actually need to use my thingamajiggy, and I want to see what the gain does for the most part. So now we're on the Blue Yeti microphone now, and I am going to turn the gain clockwise. That's strange. I wonder if the Blue Yeti is picking up interference from, and that's one of the reasons why I switched off of it actually. Oh, is it sitting on the microphone? Maybe that's it. It's sitting on the monitor, so it may be picking up some vibration. Let me just pick it up off the monitor. So I turn the gain all the way clockwise. And now I'm about to turn the gain all the way counterclockwise. And now I'm going to move it back to the middle. Just because I don't know anything about gain for the most part, as far as how it's going to affect my voice. Now, I did change one other thing on the microphone from the previous time. Now that it's off of the thingamajiggy. And that is that I'm on an omnidirectional microphone. This is the second setting from the omnidirectional microphone. And this is the unidirectional microphone. Yeah, I know the sound. I have a feeling that I'm hoping that it was because I was on the monitor. It was resting on the monitor. But I am going to fix it because I think the Yeti should be the better microphone. But if the Logitech C920 is the better microphone, that's crazy. So now we're going to try the last setting, which is an infinity sign. And the infinity sign might mean that it picks up everything in the room, which is probably the worst possible sound. So again, the previous sound was the one that I was supposed to be using. I'm going to go back to that one. The infinity sign makes me sound like Thanos. I think I like that. I'm going back to it. I'm keeping that one. We're going with Thanos for a day. That's pretty funny. The infinity symbol made me sound like Thanos. So yeah, this one is the omnidirectional one with the filters. And it may be that I need to set the filters differently for the Yeti. I can't wait to come back to the stream and re-listen to it myself. I also have a 60-second timer to tell a story. And I think I'm going to set up a reward. To tell a story. That would be very cool. I also need coffee. When he realizes that I was making a joke. Did I not realize you were making a joke? I like the idea of sounding like Thanos. I like that actor a lot. I don't necessarily like Thanos' idea, but I have a feeling, short of Infinity Wars, that this COVID thing was meant to be a Thanos-like operation, wiping out half the population. Which is very sad in itself. So in general, this whole line, even with f3, bishop h5, has been played before, but it looks very grim for white. It looks very, very grim for white. You didn't like the results. I don't blame you. If it doesn't suit your style, that is absolutely correct. If it does not suit your style, do not play it. Even if the statistics say that you should. Oh, with the music? Can't touch this. That was priceless, Pegasus. Priceless. Thank you, Ron. Yes. In fact, all of those. I love the other one too, but I don't think I won that game. Did I not win that game? When you played the first one, I'm trying to remember what that first one was. I think I was getting hammered. Ultimately. So you played G6. So this is where I have a trickier time with C5, for example. Like, if you look over here, in this particular position, C5 is not the move immediately of this choice. Like, they'll prepare it with B6 or D6, or so they'll just put their pawn on D5. Castling is probably the main option. Doesn't mean that the move hasn't been in this position before. Cossack Corley lost with white. That's very sad, really. If Cossack Corley is trying to become a grandmaster and he's playing this line, everything up until d6 is sharp. Yeah. Well, it's funny. It's funny that you say you looked it up with Stockfish, because the tricky thing, I actually call Stockfish Starkist, because it's like canned tuna. It tastes really, really good, and it's really, really bad for you. But it has this hint of a taste that you know you probably shouldn't be having it. You know that it's probably somewhat processed. No, I know. The problem, the only drawback I have, I just know that everything in the opening is equal, Lauren. Everything in the opening is equal, provided that you are activating your pieces. The drawback to being guided or using any assessment from Stockfish is that it's looking at a line that requires perfect play, so you're sort of like fishing in the ether. It's a lot like a fisherman with his favorite fishing hole, and you know that you're going to catch a fish whether or not you're in your favorite spot or not. You're going to catch a fish. You put the thing in the water, sooner or later you're going to catch fish. It's just how comfortable you are while you're fishing that matters. And Stockfish can't tell you how comfortable you're going to be, which is why I tend to use the database, the general feel for what type of player plays this. For example, Max DeLugi playing the white side of this, losing to German Grandmaster Henke, or Romanian World Championship candidate or contender Nizi Piano, who lost to Kaufman in the 1999 World Championship in Las Vegas, playing black against Drazen Muse. And ironically, if you don't know any of these players, and I don't blame you for not knowing any of these players, you can definitely look them up when you see the names coming up often. So now I know who to refer to. I actually mentioned in the Discord that I would prefer to follow a player and their style that complements mine. Like, I think I've gravitated a lot toward Ivanchuk because he plays every single opening under the sun, and I kind of tend to prefer that. On the whole, though, in this particular position, let's scroll up. We've got Magnus Carlsen on the black side. Well, Fabiano Caruana played d4 on move 2. So that doesn't count. Here, we have to start here. So now, if you wanted to emulate Aronian Vache Lagrave, let's go with Vache Lagrave for just a moment. Vache Lagrave, who is a Grunfeld player, must play g6. Fabiano Caruana does not mind the London positions, just plays d5. Wesley So. Nepomniachtchi, who is an extremely dynamic player, prefers c5. Now, just because he lost this one game against Magnus Carlsen doesn't mean anything as we go through this. So, interestingly enough, I'm going to go with Carlsen and Nepomniachtchi. And if you hover over it, you can actually get a good feel for it. Yeah, it's a tough one. I know it. I have a relative feeling for what types of positions that you like. Only because of my knowledge of you liking Tarish. So, interestingly enough, you're leaping into the hyper-modern era with the Grunfeld / King's Indian, and I'm not sure how well that fits in with you. So, for example, when I suggest this line, if you really are a Grunfeld King's Indian style player, then this line really is the most natural in the world for you. And it could well be that you're not a King's Indian player yet. As you said, you didn't like the kinds of positions that resulted from this, but that's totally awesome too. 75%. Well, this is obviously not a Grunfeld, but this is the these are the positions that result from it. Let's run over for just a moment. Let's see if I can find my chessable window. And I will hope that chessable will pop up. And I'm going to take a quick gander at Peter Spidler's Grunfeld Lifetime Repertoire 2. I'm only going to look at the quick starter guide to see what he recommends. He is one of the legends of our stream, so therefore I'm very happy. Continue to promote him. Symmetrical Grunfeld, main line of the exchange variation. Is that true? What's going on here? Knight f3. Oh, these are all the anti-Grunfelds, right? Let's run through it. So basically, against the move knight f3, this is the anti-Grunfeld. And we're going to have to play a symmetrical English pawn structure. Absolutely nothing wrong with this. I like this position a lot. I've not played it enough. I'm looking forward to having Peter's commentary. So if white goes for this, we're quite happy with this ending. And in the next one, very common position from a lot of pawn structures, especially the English. Sacking the pawn, putting the bishop on f6 to cover the weaknesses, very important. This discovery is going to ruin our pawn structure, but will it? Will it be that much of a difficult time? Because we're going to attempt to get our exchange back? No. We're going to just weaken his squares. We get our exchange back anyway. But we were in this to see the London, because in the part 2, what's going on here? Oh, quick starter guide 1 knight f3. That's it? There's a separate quick starter guide? Wait just a moment now. I have to go down here. Reti sidelines, mainline sidelines, English symmetrical sidelines, London system. We're looking at this one. So what is his recommendation? Mad Quick Chess in the house. Love that last emote. Totally awesome, man. As he just gets home from a long night of poker. Chess sniper. That is a very cool emote. Interesting. Personally, I like to play d5 right now. Against knight d2, I might actually even consider d5 already. This is the type of position that I'm actually trying to avoid. I do not like giving up the center. I like giving up the center only on my own terms. So now we're fighting for the center. Now we're destroying the center and attacking the center. Next up, what is our remedy here? This is for only those of us in the dojo. And then c5. Wow. So d5, e5, knight h5. I'm so used to playing knight e4 and just trying to undermine the center. But c5. So what happens here? If d takes c5, knight c6, then the e pawn cannot be saved. That is correct. C takes d4 is safer here, except for f6. So he goes for it. C takes d4, C takes d4, knight c6, just continuing to bombard the center. And he's not at all worried about his knight on h5 because he has a lovely square for it here. So I'm not sure if I could actually play f6. I'm in the Ben Feingold camp of no f6. What do you mean attempted robbery? I saw the first line. My line scrolled over for the attempted robbery part. Was there an attempted robbery at the poker place? Did it make the news? Can I read about this? Oh my god. That's crazy. Johnny Chan's poker room, by the way, is near Mad Quick Chess, or not necessarily so near, but in the same general area as Mad Quick Chess in Houston, Texas. I, by the way, am in New York City, if everybody thinks that I'm giving away locations of streamers. Without regard. It's a pretty big city. I've been to Houston. It is huge. You need a car in Houston. Unlike New York City, you need a car. In New York City, you need a car if you want to get out of the city. Again, I'm having a tough time with this line. But okay, I can get it. More on the London here by Spidler. d5. What was going to happen? I guess if he plays e5, then we can actually just move our knight into the center, so we're all good. Note that I'm turning off the engine here. I'm not putting this engine in. Rogan Joe Sloan in the house. I refunded your hero request for b3 from the other day because I can't remember if I did it. I don't think I did it, Rogan. RJS. Be sure to follow the remarkable streaming talents of Rogan Joe Sloan. How do we get you pumped up? Gotta pump up the volume on Rogan Joe Sloan. That's what we need to do. We definitely gotta pump up the volume. Pump up the volume. You missed the. Did you miss the tournament this morning? I am hoping for a 6-hour Magnus Carlsen stream today. I may switch up gears and use the Encyclopedia Chess Miniatures 2 book. For those of you who just got here, I almost changed today's birthday to the arrival of Informant 150, the Midwinter's Dream Edition. Such a beautiful book. It has articles on the 2021 U.S. Championship by Sabina Lazar and the amazing performance by Carissa Yip. I am definitely firmly a Yippie. Another one, for the most part, is a profile of Shirov's Mr. Fire on Board by Mikhail Marin, the Meltwater Chess Champion Tour Final, the Grand Swiss, the FIDE Grand Swiss finale, which was won by Ali Reza with the monstrous score. Some theoretical articles on the King's Indian Fianchetto and the Archangel's Rui Lopez, the Semiteresh as well, and a separate article by GM Nigel Davies. The Art of Intuitive Sacrifices. The Art of Intuitive Sacrifices by Grandmaster Michael Pruskin. So we have always Ian Rogers reminiscing, and the amazing Douglas Griffin from the Chess Informant archives. Just have to throw that out there. He is amazing. The Chess Informant archives, this is on 152. Let's see what he covers this time. Between he and Ian Rogers, they cover this amazing stuff. Where Marian Petrov is covering the World Championship Game Changers. and he's studying, and he's going through the games of Steinitz versus Günzburg. It's always worth noting. 5 most memorable games from the Chess Informant archives. Game 1 is Miles Anderson. Game 2 is Sakis Pritchett. It's quite a large article for Douglas Griffin. Usually he only does one game with a lot of historical anecdotes. Podgates versus Zaitchik. That is one of my favorite Benoni's. Not necessarily the best result for the Benoni. Hodgson versus Gurevich, 1989. And the 5th game that he chooses is Sashin versus Korchnoi, 1973. Not entirely sure how he chose this game because I'm not going to read the article here. Oh, there's a tiny zoom window in my display. There is a tiny zoom window in my display. I forgot about this because we were doing this for Chessable the last time. We were experimenting. Rogan and I experimented with this screen on Chessable. So let me find that zoom window, and I can resize it basically depending on what it has, right? So let me just see if I can find this. I can also find the source of that tiny zoom window. Might be that. Let's save that. Oh no, it is a zoom. It's like the little zoom box, isn't it? Let's close the zoom. There it is. All I have to do is close zoom and it doesn't appear. That window only appears when zoom is open. I do not know. I have Bologon's weapons with white and black. I have not invested in Bologon's King's Indian. I don't. I'm gonna check. No. I'm a big fan of Bologon. The only reason I didn't get Bologon's King's Indian is because if it's anything at all... Oh, really? Page 392. Fascinating. There's a tiny... I still can't get over the tiny zoom window. Frenier, how are you? Did I miss something? Hold on. I'm always worried that I've missed something because I do not check the London system. So Bologon's King's Indian. I will have to add it to my Amazon wish list. Because I do love the fianchetto structures. And I actually thought about even doing a complete study stream on, I should say, a 3-hour or more instead of 3+ hour review, depending on circumstances. Like some books, if you donated, for example, I actually got it for myself, which I noticed was missing from my library. Kramnik Move by Move arrived today. So I'm fully equipped to do Kramnik. I didn't realize that in his protest over the toilet gate incident that he actually did not show up for game 5 on purpose. At whatever moment, I actually thought that it was a punishment for toilet gate even being possible. Basically, Kramnik and Topolov played a world championship match, a unification match of sorts, in 2006 to unify the classical world chess championship with the FIDE World Chess Championship. And ultimately, it got very dirty. Someone was accusing Silvio Danilov of cheating by communicating with Topolov during the match. Topolov then responded with an investigation of Kramnik's toilet, which turned out that he may or may not have had wires hanging down from the wall like there was a computer in that room at one point during the match. So that was also a tricky thing. And the lovely thing about this book I have to tell you, the lovely thing about this book is that I'm not finding a game index. Bibliography, introduction, index of opponents. There we go, 407. Please. Oh, so we have an index of opponents, but not an index of games. So the index of games are 198, 350, 377. Let's check the most recent one. There were some atrocious moves played in that match, I have to admit. The fourth rapid playoff game. Got it. We should definitely do that one. I'll throw a pseudo bookmark in here. We are going to be doing a 2006 Topolov Kravnik. So 350 and 198 are the next two. This is from Dortmund 2001. Less important. And the last one, page 50, no, but page 198. And given the importance of that match, they only have one game from that match in this book, which is unfortunate. So as it turns out, I want to see this one again. I like it. So this whole line, Pegasus, you're saying this line is in Bologon's, or is he recommending a different line? He really doesn't mind white building up a big center and then counterattacking with d5. Ah, there's the early one that I was looking for. Whoops. That was the early one that I was looking for with the early e5. Yeah. And obviously we might go to d5. This tempo is quite crucial, of course, as it gives us time to start challenging the white center. d6. I feel like it could be an Alekhine if white shoves with c4. And lastly, yeah, this requires a huge leap of faith on my part. It really does. That makes sense. A huge leap of faith on my part, mainly because I don't like giving up the center. This is not a London, by the way. I still disagree that this is a London. Rogan knows my reservations. Nice. Back to work on Monday. Yeah, in the King's Indian by Bologon book. That's what I remember. I can recall that. He was recommended b6, bishop to b7. You know who else recommends that? I believe... Oh. I should load all of my courses. Let's see if I can recall who else also recommended it. I feel like that was recommended by, I'm not sure if it was Pochetka in his King's Indian book. I'm never going to find it. I should go back to the other thing. For the most part. But on the whole, hold on one second. Just finishing up some last minute business. in the chessable department, keeping it up just in case. 7 a.m. I also promised that I was going to do. So how am I going to do this? Do I have an ECM stream? We're going to finish Lauren's game. Oh, you got this move in. That's great. And did you hit him with? Knight to b4. The shot heard round the world. It's a standard motif, Lauren, with this particular setup. I hope you're here for this. You have to hit him with knight to b4. I know you wanted to do knight to b5. Maybe it'll be there on the next turn. Oh, I see. You were intent on winning a pawn. I guess so. Fine. That's even better. Perhaps. So now what happened? Knight to b4. It's never too late for knight to b4. Scarf the bishop pair. Scarf the rook. Threaten the check. Dogs and cats living together. Yeah, but those forks should be automatic. Automatic. And now for something completely irrelevant. I would start consolidating here, though, Lord. Perhaps this is the moment to start consolidating. You don't have to keep it protected, do you? Or do you? I like it. Maybe this is good. And can you move forward on this? Anchor your knight. Right? You can move forward on this and anchor your knight. You can also counterattack if you'd like. This also guards the knight. No, but these are good intuitive responses to know what's going on. I think if queen takes b4, you keep enough of an initiative that it causes some problems for him. Can you bother him in other ways as well? That's a good question. I don't see it. So yeah, not knight takes b4 because a rook takes d7, but the counter-attacking move queen takes b4. This way, you gain a tempo on the bishop. And then you get a chance to save your pawn one way or another. So every time a pawn is moved, I want everyone to understand that every time something is moved in any position, it creates weaknesses. Every time an item is altered, then there is a new square that is both weak, perhaps a square that is slightly stronger. Yeah, I never, as a habit, as a rule of thumb, as a stronger player, or deciding to become a stronger player, you must try to not give up any ground to your opponent. I'm an uncompromising player. I don't feel like you should give away anything, anytime, anywhere, for any reason, period. End of story. So I'm looking for ways to justify knight takes e4. Knight takes b4, but I don't see it. What do we got? We're simplifying. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fighting for the open file is a better way to go for it. Not a big fan of retreating my queen. Also, with your queen on this square, you're creating further tactical possibilities of a pin, which might be taken advantage of by c5. So in general, one of the best ways to think about it, there are three fast moving pieces. Everybody knows what they are. Three fast moving pieces. And those are the bishop, queen, and rook. They're also the three pieces that move in straight lines. Right? They move in straight lines. They move along the ranks, files, and diagonals. But then we have the three, and they're the three fastest moving pieces. Now we have the three slow moving pieces, like bishop, knight, and pawn. I'm sorry, like the king. Sorry, king, knight, and pawn. Very slow moving. Do not move along lines at all. They move one square at a time. So whenever there's a bishop on a line, we know that the square is being attacked. So when you do this, we're creating a little bit of a problem for ourselves. And now, what to do? Yeah, I don't like defending. Sack it. Who cares? Get your pieces out. Somehow. I don't know. But fine. Yep, we don't have a choice. We have to guard it. We're still being attacked. We did not really guard that. So how did you draw this, Lauren? OMG. And then, of course, we've got the mad rush where she wins back her material. And the opponent did not see anything to stop this, which I find very amusing. Right? So you played, your opponent played, it looks like they should escape. So instead of attacking the rook, I might have attacked the pawn. Bishop e4. Possibly even anchoring my king, if needed. Yeah, I would have definitely gone for something along these lines. And there's no reason to take right away, or is there? Yeah, we have to take right away. This is a skewer of a different variety. You don't have to play that right away, but still I don't know what's going on. See, that might lure in some mistakes. But there's no capturing this pawn as long as our king is there. Are we still lost? Maybe not. White is winning, yeah. So bishop e4 is far more purposeful. And this is a draw. Two passed pawns, two or more files apart. Yeah, you can't move backwards. Notice the change in your mindset. When you start moving backwards with your pieces, right? You're going backwards, you're getting defensive. And now again here, mindset. Take that pawn. Counterattack. Never give up. Never surrender. Establish yourself. Then you have a strategic advantage as well on that side of the board. All right. I do need coffee. Yeah, you have to have the mindset of a strong player. No, it was a great escape. I have great escapes every single day. 81 Deshi. You know what? The overlay is going to be in place on Sunday. Hold on, let me just look at the calendar here. When can I put the overlay in place? I was debating on whether to put it in place at the end of the month, ending the holiday season. But there's some tweaks involved. You have a good overlay already, right? Quadraspaski gave you that, or designed that one for you? Broken? Yes? No? Maybe so? That's cool. So the hard part for me is giving adequate sponsorship ability. I'm probably going to cut it back to just Chess Informant. But I don't ask for enough from Chessable. That's the tricky part. I need to ask for more from Chessable. If I ask for more from Chessable, I may well get it. But it's hard to ask. Being a small streamer, how much can I truly really ask for? Sabina Fwasar. We haven't raided Sabina Fwasar in a long time. We could raid Zalakai or Sabina Fwasar, but I am going to raid Sabina because of her report on the U.S. Championship, flexing those sponsors. Well, Offerspiel is the one that is a little bit the least because they offered me a discounted rate to join, you know, and I'm not sure if it still holds up, and I need to capitalize. I need to capitalize on that discounted rate because they owe me some merch, and I haven't actually taken them up on it. But Pegasus, thank you for all the bits and the sound alerts. I absolutely loved it. Though that's the way to do it. I will be back with the 6-hour Magnus stream, I believe. If I don't do the 6-hour Magnus stream, I may attempt to do the slightly smaller. Is Chess on Earth still streaming? He could be. But we're going to raid Sabina Fwasar and say Chess Informant 150. Informant 150. She has her own midwinter dream of the U.S. The 2021 U.S. Championship report. Have a great afternoon. If I don't see you when I come back, ciao. Thanks, Rogan. Did we get Rogan's thing in there? Bristling humor, better hair. Cheers.